Okay, everybody, welcome to the Board of Selectmen's meeting for Monday, September 30th. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. What time is the hearing for? 7? Is that what it was posted as? 7 o'clock, the hearing is posted for 7? All right, so we're just a few minutes. All right, so why don't we go ahead and open that up?
I move to open the hearing for a fuel storage license in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 148, Section 13, for Abe Jarij, doing business as Gold Medalist LLC, 25 Cape Road.
I'll step down in second. Discussion? All in favor? All right. Hi, Abe, how are you?
How you doing?
Good, good. So just so everybody knows, is everybody here for the hearing? No? Just Abe? All right. This is for the new gas station that's on Route 140 down at where Westwood Lumber formerly was. There's been a new gas station built down there, and this is for the permit to be able to store the fuel and dispense of it. So, Abe, if you have anything you'd like to discuss, I think you guys are pretty much ready to go at this point, correct?
Yeah, I had all the permit from the fire department, from the zoning board, planning board. The only thing I didn't know that the guy who was in the fire department, he was handling the case. I guess he left to work in another town.
Okay.
And my file wasn't sent to the town to get the permit earlier.
Okay.
So later on, we realized that we need the permit, so I contacted the town, and we get this, emergency meeting to get the fuel permit.
Okay.
But the tank and everything is in place.
Okay.
Just need that.
You have any questions?
No.
Anybody else have any questions?
How you doing? I just want to make sure that he understands that he still has to get a final inspection on the store itself.
Yeah?
Okay, from the building department?
Yeah.
Okay.
The building department, I think we need the store for the building department. The tanks, through the process, there was many inspection by the fire department.
Yeah, he was just mentioning it's just the store.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Tim, the building
Yeah.
inspector.
Yeah. Tomorrow, actually, 8:30, we have final inspection for the fire suppression and the fire, in case there is a fire, if everything work, and the tank pressure test.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody have anything else? All right. With that, I'll take a motion to close the hearing.
I move to close the hearing for a fuel storage license in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 148, Section 13, for Abe Jarij, doing business as Gold Medalist LLC, 25 Cape Road.
Thank you. That's it.
I'll step down a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
And then just a motion to approve it, if that's what we
Yep.
say.
I move to grant a fuel storage license to Abe Jarij, doing business as Gold Medalist LLC, 25 Cape Road, to store 19,000 gallons of gasoline in an underground storage tank and 4,000 gallons of diesel fuel in a underground storage tank pending the return of positive routing slips.
Step down a second. Discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All set. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
coming in.
Thanks.
Can I just remind you, we need a check to cover the hearing fees and the abutters notices?
Just so everybody's aware, Fire Prevention Week is October 6th through the 12th. There'll be an open house at the Mendon Fire Department on October 9th from 5 to 9. There will be pizza and refreshments that will be served, and fire and life safety lessons with activities for the children. We also have a proclamation for Fire Safety Week. Whereas the town of Mendon is committed to ensuring the safety and security of all those living in and visiting our community, and whereas fire is a serious public safety concern both locally and nationally, and homes are the locations where people are the greatest risk from fire. Whereas home fires killed more than 2,500 people in the United States in 2011, according to the National Fire Protection Association, and fire departments in the United States responded to 375,000 home fires. And whereas cooking is the leading cause of home fires in the United States, where the fire departments respond to more than 156,000 annually between 2007 and 2011. Excuse me. And whereas 2 of every 5 home fires start in the kitchen, whereas unattended equipment was a factor in 1/3 of the reported cooking fires. Whereas 57% of the reported non-fatal home cooking fire injuries occurred when the victims tried to fight the fire themselves. Whereas children under 5 face a higher risk of non-fire burns associated with cooking than being burned in a cooking fire. Whereas Mendon residents should stay in the kitchen when frying food on the stovetop, keep a 3-foot kid-free zone around cooking areas, and keeping anything that can catch fire away from the stovetops. And whereas residents who have planned and practiced a home fire escape plan are more prepared and will therefore be more likely to survive a fire. Whereas working smoke alarms cut the risk of dying in reported home fires in half. Whereas Mendon's first responders are dedicated to reducing the occurrence of home fires and home fire injuries through prevention and protection education. Whereas Mendon residents are responsive to public education measures and are able to keep personal steps to increase their safety from fire, especially in their homes. Whereas the 2013 Fire Prevention Week theme, Prevent Kitchen Fires, effectively serves to remind us to stay alert and use caution when cooking to reduce the risk of kitchen fires. Therefore, I, Lon Tenio, Chairman of the Board of Selectmen, do hereby proclaim October 6th to the 12th, 2013 as Fire Prevention Week throughout the community, and I urge all residents of Mendon to check their kitchens for fire hazard and use safe cooking practices during Fire Prevention Week 2013, and to support the many public safety activities and efforts of Mendon's fire and emergency services. Do we need a motion for that? To just make a motion for prior Fire Prevention Week is October 6th to the 12th.
What's the dates?
6th to the 12th.
So you want to,
Excuse me. That's Fire Prevention Week.
I'd like to make a motion to officially proclaim October 6th to the 12th as Fire Prevention Week throughout the community.
I'll step down a second. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Number 5, just going to skip around a little bit. We have an item on here for the gift account for the senior center. Sure, come on up.
Hi, Amy Wilson-Kent, Mendon Senior Center Director. I'm here with 2 representatives from the Brothers of the Brush, John Dudley, President, Tom Fitchner, Treasurer. They're coming with present a gift to the town of Mendon.
Okay.
For the purchase and/or for the purchase of 2 AEDs and/or materials, training, or supplies needed therewith.
Perfect, thank you guys so much. And this is from the Brothers of the Brush, correct? Perfect, thank you so much. Did you, I know that we had kind of talked about it briefly earlier, so we have a letter to that effect?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Claudia mentioned about that, I think we can take everything in, I just will I don't know if we're gonna deposit it immediately, only because we just wanna make sure where we gotta put the items, or certain amounts of money.
One of the items for the agenda tonight was to consider amending, making a motion to amend the establishment of the account was originally established for the purpose of the AEDs. At that time, the money that was gifted was enough to purchase 1 machine. Since then, more monies has come in, and so so that we do not go over the amount allotted, if there is some money, extra money left in the account, that we can use it for the purpose of purchasing additional supplies, training and such.
Sure.
Claudia was trying to talk to Mark Bacchino to find out exactly how much is going to be needed for supplies in the future. She was afraid that more money would come in that would need to be spent, and then that money would be sitting there, which is not really the purpose of why you're donating. So she suggested holding off until she can talk to the lieutenant and just find out exactly how much money is going to be needed, so that doesn't
The
happen.
batteries for the machine are only good for so many years, and those are $250. The pads are only good for about 3 years, and those are $200 for the pads, and you only get so many when you first get the machine. So we certainly, if we got more donations than we needed, we wanted to make sure that the money could be used for the AEDs, for the senior center and the senior center van, as was the original intention, I believe, of the donors.
Okay. So first of all, we're just going to amend the motion so that it can be used for AED materials and supplies.
But she still wanted to wait. She didn't want to do that yet.
Make
Because she
the
said,
motion yet?
she said another option would be to donate it to the Friends of the Mendon Elders. So she really would suggest waiting until next week so we don't make up an account that's going to either sit there with too much money in it that can't be spent because the purpose wasn't.
Understood. Rich?
I think Claudia's concern, that would be mine as well, is that the issue is not so much where the money sits, but it's the intention of the donors. Now, you have two donors sitting in front of you that you could ask if it's okay that you spend it on that, but you've got other people that donated that said it was for AEDs, so although it seems like a technicality.
Here's the situation. I'm sorry. Here's the situation, though. Okay, it's up to the donor to tell us in their letter where they want the money to go.
Exactly.
So we can say that we can make a motion for AEDs, materials, training, or supplies, and that's fine. Any of that money can go to that. I think that the situation is, as long as everybody's letter is clear, and anybody that has donated more than what we needed needs to send another letter that says, okay, also add it to materials and supplies, so that the balance can be moved if need be, or an account is open for each individual donation that is for all four of these things. So I think that, and again, I hope I don't want to sound like we're inconsiderate. We just want to make sure it goes to the right spot.
I think the Brothers of Brush understand that, too.
We have that in our letter, that,
Okay.
it's gonna be not just for AEDs, but for the training or any additional supplies. or
Which is
anything like
perfect,
that.
exactly. So yes, I think that, again, I don't think that we're really delaying things by holding off, just in consideration for Claudia's, making sure that we don't miss. For those of you who don't know, Claudia is the town accountant, so we want to make sure that that's correct. So by all means, we'll definitely accept the gift, and we'll get it put into the right spots. And once we do, we'll notify you that everything is all set on that. And again, thank you guys so much for helping out with that. That's a great thing
Is
you
it
guys have done.
possible for you to read the gift letter?
Yeah,
that accompanied it?
definitely, please. So we have a $500 donation from the Mendon Brush Association, a.k.a. the Brothers of the Brush. At our September 24th meeting, voted unanimously to donate a sum of $500 to the Mendon Senior Center. This donation has been provided for the specific purpose of obtaining and maintaining an AED, automated external defibrillator, device to be utilized by the Mendon Senior Center as needed. In addition, or as part of obtaining and maintaining an AED, this donation of $500 may also be utilized to purchase additional components that are related to operating an AED device. Such components would include but not be limited to training, which may be needed to utilize the AED, or any material component that might be required to be purchased to aid in the operation of an AED device. The Brothers of the Brush are grateful to all the community members who have supported our group and thus also share in this presentation to our Mendon Senior Center. We are very proud that we can support such a worthy cause to aid our senior citizens. Sincerely, Jonathan Dudley, Mendon Brush Association President. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Is it possible, Michelle, could you take our picture?
We need the big check.
It's in the back.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna take two. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2.
Thank you, guys. Thanks. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I had far from bond. Oh. Sorry about that. All right, so that's done. I also, at this time, I'd like to thank all the citizens that banded together to get this fundraiser going and get the donations that they were able to do. I know Mike Watson was instrumental in getting that done, as well as with working with Gary Smith. If anybody else that I'm missing, it's not an intended miss. Those are just the two names that come to mind immediately. All right, next item on the agenda would be, we have an appointment for Lisa Lepore as municipal clerk for the Treasurer Collector's Office. Linda, would you like to come up?
I had interviewed Lisa on the first go-round,
Okay.
and now that we're where we are at, I think she'd be a very good candidate for that position.
Okay. She's still looking for.
Yep.
I have no further questions if you want.
Yep. I move to appoint Lisa Lepore as part-time municipal clerk in the treasurer's office, effective immediately, subject to Ms. Lepore accepting an offer of employment at the non-union pay grade of Step 4, Grade 1, $18.02 per hour for 18 hours per week, and a positive background/Cory check.
I'll step down in second. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Perfect.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Diz, are you here for anything else?
Nope.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Are you guys just here to observe, or are we? I don't want to make sure I'm not missing something for the Boy Scouts.
Connor's here because he's working on one of his badges.
Okay.
It's a communication badge, and part of that is to observe a selectmen's meeting or one of the town functions.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you guys for coming in. We have an opening on the Blackstone Valley Regional School District Committee. And again, I only asked because I didn't see anything on here, and I wanted to make sure I was missing you guys. We have an opening for, I think our district member has retired or resigned from the school committee. So we have an opening there. I believe that's a joint appointment from the school committee or from
School district.
the district and the Board of Selectmen. Do they have any candidates in mind? Do we solicit candidates? How
I
does that
haven't
work?
heard anything,
Okay.
so I imagine we just make an announcement.
Okay, so I guess we're looking for anybody that's interested in the Blackstone Valley Regional Vocational Technical Schools. The school committee position is open, so it will be an appointment. So if anybody is interested, please submit your interest, and we'll, at a future meeting, I'm sure have a joint appointment with the, not sure if it's the superintendent or the actual school committee that does that together, but we'll find out. We have a discussed appointment of Conservation Commission clerk. Come on up. How are we doing, Tim?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Okay. I was elected by the board to interview candidates for the position for the clerk. And we selected and agreed upon Aaliyah Cameron, and I'm looking for your support to hire her.
Okay. I know that you would.
I sent an email Friday. Did you guys get a chance to look at that?
I don't know if I might have, I don't recall reading it at this point. But you and I had discussed offline as well.
Yep.
There's still the situation of possibly sliding the water department.
I mentioned it, to her to make sure that she was aware that there was gonna be swing positions that she was gonna have to either fill in for, or it could even be combined with the water board, and she was on board with that. With the extra hours, it wasn't a problem.
Rich?
I also wanted to just make sure, now, you do remember that we had reduced the number of hours allotted to that position to increase the number of hours that the administrative assistant would work. So I just want to be sure that we don't end up with a situation where the number of hours exceeds the budget that we have.
Okay.
Well,
so
right now, the way that I understand it, and again, we might have to look this over, this is all part of the request of the Board of Health / Water Board's office at this time. So, the situation as we last left it was that we have X number of hours for the Water Board's position now. So that was, I think everybody's on the same page that it's about 5 hours. So that 5 hours would need to be reduced from that line, pushed over to the Conservation Commission. Now, if the Board of Health requires more time in their office.
In order to cover the water piece of it.
Exactly. Right. So, and right now, so the Conservation Commission has an amount of hours allotted.
Those hours haven't been cut, right?
No.
The conservation.
Yes, we reduced the hours.
Well, it's currently 10.
Right, but it's only 10 hours that we're,
Right.
whatever it is right now is what she's getting.
Okay.
Yeah, it used to be 13, maybe
Okay,
2
so
years ago.
so you're
Yeah.
saying exactly what I'm
I
saying.
told her it was 10 hours.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, so right now,
That doesn't exceed the budget, that's all I'm trying to.
no, agreed, and I understand where you're coming. So right now, it's a 10-hour position, it's possibly a 15-hour position, and we'll look at it from there.
Okay. I know we did talk about training and stuff. I mean,
Well,
is that something we want to?
Well, right now, I mean, as far as training is concerned, we either have to take the current person that's in that position and a lot more hours.
Well, that's my point. I mean, we need to bring the new clerk in so she can learn the paperwork and the process. So I think down the road, at some point, we're going to have to transfer something to salaries to cover it. 'Cause it's going to
Now-
be double covered for.
Well, maybe not, because you've gone without position for X amount of time, so some of the salaries aren't expended.
No, there's
Before
no,
Darlene, we did?
there's,
Oh, that's right, that's what converted.
there's no, right, there's just a change. So we need to just keep that in mind. Again, we're probably talking not a lot of money.
I mean, we don't have to do anything now, but down the road, I guess.
Yeah, well, no, we should, it's not that we're waiting. So we need to know what you need for time, so we can get it on the forecasting sheet, so that we can make the adjustments. So if you need a week's worth of
Okay,
time.
well, with that being said, Diane, what do you think? You were in that position,
Yeah,
so.
I'm thinking if she could, at least 3 weeks.
Okay,
At least.
okay.
Bring
Now,
her up to speed.
the person that's coming in, from what you told me, I believe, is,
She has an environmental background,
okay, so,
and she's worked for a municipality before. She did work in the Board of Health in Millville for a summer as an internship. So she's familiar with the municipal.
somewhat,
Right.
she has a
right.
little bit of
Yes,
background, so
yes.
that's a plus.
Okay, so it sounds like you're suggesting 30 hours worth of overlap.
Yes, that was what I would,
It-
10 hours a week.
A maximum, that should cover it.
Okay, all right, so I'll just do the multiplication,
Yep.
add it to the tracking sheet, I'll take care of that.
Okay.
perfect.
Thank
So,
you.
all right, so we're gonna call it 30 hours right now.
What's that?
We're gonna go with 30 hours right now? You're okay with that?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh,
You guys, no, I just don't know if you're conversing about the situation.
No, I think we're all set. Yeah,
Okay.
we were, but we're all set.
Okay, all right. Nothing, okay, so, all right.
Okay, so when can this candidate start?
Do you have a motion?
I move to appoint Leah Cameron as the municipal clerk for the Conservation Commission effective October 1, 2013, subject to Ms. Cameron accepting an offer of employment at the non-union pay grade of Step 4, Grade 1, $18.02 per hour for 18 hours per week, and a positive background/Cory check.
Make that 10, and we'll go with that.
Right, 10 hours per week.
I'll step down a second. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Consider changing the name of Misco Road, known as Old Road, to Upton. Nothing?
I haven't heard anything new on that.
Municipal clerk, it says discuss municipal clerk. I believe that is the police clerk. That was the item that we were looking for rotation. I don't think we have anything new on that at the moment, but I think that we're getting close to some more further discussions on a few key things that are on the ask list. So, discuss capital expenditures account. Sorry, you have your hand up?
Yeah, and I was just gonna say, just so it's crystal clear for everybody, so we'll be, the discussion that you just mentioned, along with all the prioritization, we should be able to nail next meeting, right?
Perfect. Thank you. So look for that within the next week, is that? Next Monday?
On the agenda for next week.
I'm not, what's the date? I'm not here.
7th, October 7th.
I won't be here, just so everybody's aware. I'm definitely way out of town.
Okay, so can I ask a question on that?
Yeah, you can.
Should we wait till the following week then? The idea was, we
Yeah.
didn't do it tonight because Mr. Goddard wasn't here, and then
Yeah. I mean, I hate to delay, but I don't know that the delay is going to speed up anything that we're gonna do by a week or anything, so it's up, I'm okay if you guys talk about it without me here, although it is a discussion that I really would like to be involved in, so, but I don't wanna delay anything.
is it appropriate to obtain from you your input on the priorities prior to the meeting so that it can be included?
It is, yeah, 1,000%. Why don't we do that? Well, yeah, why don't you and I get together on what we have on the list, and then you'll have my opinion on it. Thank you. Like my secretary, Rich. Ernie's he's gonna do my picks. All right, so this would, same thing for the capital expenditure account. This is all part of that whole discussion. Consider amending the motion to adopt the designer selection procedures.
Move to amend the adoption, did you want to talk about it first?
No, go right ahead.
Move to amend the adoption of the designer selection procedures made on September 23rd, 2013, to be in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 7C, Sections 44 and continuing.
I'll step down in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Perfect. I'm assuming that was just
Yeah.
some legal
Change.
stuff that we missed. Amend the motion, the rate of pay for Courtney and Watuza?
Yes.
Is this the police matron?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
I move to amend the motion to appoint Courtney Ann Matuzis as a part-time police matron to correct the current rate as being $11 per hour.
Step down in second. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Appoint Insurance Advisory Committee member, Margaret Tatro.
I move to appoint Margaret Tatro, 55 Millville Street, to the Insurance Advisory Council for a term to expire June 30th, 2014.
Step down in second. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We missing anything? We have an executive session. We have an executive session. Yes.
Were you gonna discuss Misco Road at all?
Oh, I brought it up, but we didn't know.
Oh, okay, what was,
We haven't really heard anything more. I'm kind of at a loss of what needs to be done.
okay.
They're just looking to change the name.
I'm finding the letter, I can tell you.
Here.
Do you have the letter?
Oh. No, I don't have it.
The planning board sent a letter to the selectmen requesting that to change the name of Misco Road, known as the Old Road to Upton, for safety factors. The street numbering lends to confusion for the Mendon's public safety departments when responding to emergency calls. But we didn't know if that would impact the way the Philbricks got were granted access to that road, and if changing the name would
Did they come in
add
the-
to confusion.
Did they come in the last meeting? Because now that we have done what we did over there, well, I know, one second, we have now more requests, you know. I guess that guy's coming back in.
Is this about changing the name of the whole road or the extension?
Well, the old road to Upton is really not there,
Okay, well, it is there.
but the old road to
It is there for so many feet until it turns into Upton. So.
well, right, but it wasn't really there. There was no road until
There was a cart road, and I don't think it was ever abandoned by the town at
No.
town meeting, so it was still
But this,
public way.
right, but now Kevin Philbrick, who lives in Upton, has extended that piece to make his driveway in Mendon.
And which someone it was approved by the planning board?
It was approved by us
Okay, okay.
and the planning board. Everybody got together
Okay, so-
to help this guy build his house, but now we're getting requests for a bunch of lots being created, and people now want to share this,
On the
and,
Mendon side?
yes.
Yeah, okay. Which is pretty legitimate as far as, if their lots are on the Mendon side.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's discussing the legitimacy of it. I'm just saying
The
that,
question is Misco Road, the description of Misco Road, the footage gonna be changed now to incorporate the total amount of road?
yeah, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I think
That's
that,
what I'm wondering.
well, because the whole thing was that this wasn't supposed to be, it's essentially, we got together to figure out how to help somebody out. And now it's opened a can of worms into, okay, well, we all have the right to do this, so now they have the right to do it, and it wasn't what we intended to have happen. The road was supposed to be brought up to code so that he could get the house built, and then the road was gonna be abandoned and maintained by him. Now there's a situation where, once we abandon the road, and I don't know that we ever took this into consideration, that now the property on both sides, it meets in the middle. And we didn't build the road off-center, so it was on his property. So we have that to take into account, and now it's, we're trying to come to a conclusion of, can we get everybody to be in an association down there so that they maintain that piece of the road, because that was the intent? Or now it's gonna end up being that we have a road that doesn't conform with the width that we need in the town, and then we're gonna have to maintain it and trying to help out. That's where we end up.
I'm just trying to figure that out, because
This
they're gonna be
week.
coming to the building department next.
Well, we're working through it. We'll have all the details worked out before we get there.
I may have been at that meeting that was here at that day, and I was under the understanding that it was for his private use for his own house.
It was.
Not to make a road for other people to use.
Agreed. And that was the intent, and now, but by doing what we did, we've given the right for the people in the area to.
Because the
No.
road wasn't put on his land, or because supposedly abandoned but able to be revived road is now in the middle of properties?
Ultimately, they have the legal right to it because it's now there. Again, it wasn't the intent, but due to legal ease.
I remember that meeting.
You're right. You're right 100%. I mean, again, I agree with you, but we are where we are with it, and it's all legal stuff that if we abandon the road, we'll then be sued, and we won't win. And so now it comes down to, okay, let's make it right. We'll just make it right is what we're coming down to, so, yeah. Sorry, Chief?
My recommendation, I'd probably kick it back to the highway surveyor and see what his thoughts are.
Yeah, I think that we just kind of need to get everybody involved, and get together on it. I don't know that we need to, we need to give it a new name, but maybe we'll just, it continues to be Misco Road, and that's, Misco Road goes to the left, though.
And the building inspector.
Misco Road goes to the left, though, and continues up some more, doesn't it? Past that jog?
See, there's a legal description of the length of the road.
Yep.
So I'm not sure if it stopped just before Rasby's, or what the footage is, the legal footage. But when you say, I don't want to beat a subject that you really don't want to talk about now, but
No, that's fine.
I'm just wondering, like, now you just said, did the town abandon the road?
No.
The extension? Oh, they didn't.
No, because the intent was once,
So they don't both own to the center of the.
no, not right now.
Right, okay.
He improved the road to make it essentially
Driveway.
a long driveway, right?
But to the requirements of public safety and highway.
Exactly, but it wasn't to our subdivision rules and regulations. So it's not the full length of road. He met with everybody, made sure we could turn a fire truck around, gave extra areas here and there to make sure we could do all the public safety. And it was up to him to maintain this, and that was the whole thing that came about it, and that he would have to maintain it. And all it did, it was just, now it just allows other people, and we can't now abandon the road because they've all got the requests in, and then,
Is it all on his property, or is it?
no, it's the road.
Oh, okay. So
It's the road. He improved it enough that, again, that it was, sufficient to feed one house. Now,
Right.
it is what it is, we'll just deal with it. But yeah, that's what the situation is. So we'll either figure out if it has to be a new name or whatever we have to do at that point. But we'll do it all while we're doing it. And again, I'll take blame on that, leading that charge for Mr. Philbrick, because I was definitely instrumental in getting it done, and I think I was told by multiple people not to open the can of worms, and I opened the lid, so I'll take the blame. Sorry, everybody. Anything else? All right, we do have an executive session to discuss the situation with personnel matter. I know it doesn't actually say that on this, but it's time is of the essence, so we will adjourn to executive session. Hold on, where's the sheet, just so you have the choice number on it? Do you have it underneath yours? Or you just gonna hide it? Oh, here. It's going to be... Chief, could you explain to me which item we would need on here?
Attorney, not chief.
Attorney Horn.
Oh, okay, so I need to switch.
I'll see you in the morning, Rich.
Yeah, I'll be ready.
All right,
Shut the thing.
Not yet.
not just yet.
Oh, we gotta do
We're still in the meeting. We're still in, I'm trying to make sure we get the right reason to go in. My other concern is, does he need to be here?
Probably 4.
We're not doing this then, right? None of this?
Yep.
So I'm reading them.
No, so it would just be this. This one. Yep. Yep, so this would 4, yeah, stick 4 into the middle.
Okay, I move to enter into executive session under Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21-4, to discuss the deployment of or strategy regarding security personnel or devices. A roll call vote is needed. The meeting will reconvene only to adjourn.
Step down in second. Discussion. All in favor?
Real aye.
Tenio, aye. Good night, everybody. Thank you.